Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. As a new day dawns, it is time to crown yet another champion. To begin the day, it's the 4-seed release and the 5-seed Fielder's Choice up next on SmeeSports.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation! We will see you on Saturday afternoon! Riley Meister gets the point!
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
This is another one. It's back-to-back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. Needs a point, and it's alive. Hanson pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
Good morning from Schoonover Stadium on the campus of Kent State University. This is the 2025 Laurie Mendenhall Memorial Showcase Tournament on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Today, it is the 4-seed Release Baseball getting us underway as they take on the number 5-seed Fielder's Choice. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon / morning. Feels like afternoon already. The sun is going to be prevalent once again today, as it always is here at Kent State University. The way the box is situated with the sun. In the morning, the sun blazing down into the box. By the afternoon, it hangs behind us and gives a beautiful cast onto the diamond, and that will make for some fun championship baseball later on today. Fielder's Choice as the 5-seed will be the visitors. It is going to be Biggin, Dennison, and Kavanaugh getting us underway in the top of the first inning. Time here is 8:30 on the dot, and we are underway. First pitch fouled away, 0-1 the count. Going to be a very interesting day here at Kent State University. 4 games today are a part of the 18U division. However, in the next game, we do have one 14U game between the H24 Longhorns and Release Baseball. That one kind of a late addition to the slate, but otherwise a lot of good baseball to be played here. A lot of top teams in this tournament. Keep in mind, it is the top 8 teams making it to the playoffs today from this competition. The 1 seed T3 takes on the number 8 seed CBF later on today at 1. The winners of this game and that game will then play each other at 3:15. So then you take the winner of the top bracket and then the bottom bracket, which has your 2, 7, 3, 6, and they play at 5:30 for the overall championship. 1-2 the count on Biggin. The pitch. Left upstairs for ball 2. On the mound today for Release Baseball, it is number 22, Joseph Conrad, the now graduate of St. Ignatius High School. He is committed to play at the collegiate level at Slippery Rock. His 2-2. Going to miss off the plate into the other batter's box for ball 3. Full count on Bode Biggin, the leadoff man. Biggin just finished up his junior season at Howland High School in Warren. Conrad's payoff. Misses upstairs for ball 4, loses Biggin, and the leadoff man is aboard. Good work from Biggin in the box, fouling off an offering while also remaining patient. To win this game, you need early base runners. With this release squad being injury-ridden already in this season, now is the time to catch them off guard and maybe take a big game off of them. That was their undoing a few weeks ago against Ohio Elite in the 4-5 matchup on Father's Day. Ground ball hit to short. This could be a double play. They will get the out at 2 and at 1. It's a great response for outs 1 and 2. Excellent work by Alexander over at short. Tags the bag at 2 and makes the easy throw over to 1. Plenty of time to spare. Getting that early man on was key for fielder's choice, but going back to the replay, takes it himself, has the better view, and that is what you have to do as the shortstop. You have to determine, okay, do I have a better view or does my second baseman? He had it, he had stride, and in the end, he made the right call. Jackson Kavanaugh, the first baseman, steps in, taking ball 1. Jackson, wearing number 11, just finished up his junior season at North Royalton. Conrad's 1-0. Ground ball once again hit too short, picked up at third instead. The throw to 1 is in time on a good stretch. Bornick able to retire the side. Good communication on the left side of the infield. Could have been a collision, but this release squad battle tested already this season. They make the simple plays like that. On paper, fielder's choice goes in order, but a big 6-3 double play from Alexander tells the story defensively for the 4 seed. Middle of 1, no score on SmeeSports. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Bottom one at Schoonover Stadium. No score on SmeeSports to get the day underway. This is the battle of the 4 and 5 seed. Release baseball and fielder's choice. Should be a good game. A lot of storylines entering this one for both sides. Release definitely an injury-ridden squad. A lot of tournaments so far this year, and a lot of guys like their leadoff hitter in Trobenter with pedigree, but he will ground out to first to get the inning underway. But A.J. Trobenter, along with a man now stepping in, and Patrick Radigan, won the state title for Lake Catholic against Sandusky Perkins on Father's Day. That game was each of Radigan and Trobenter's final game for the Cougars. Radigan now off to Ashland. Trobenter not going too far away from us here at SmeeSports, as he will be heading on off to Ron Model Field to play for Tri-C. But Radigan stepping in, I believe, going to Ashland more to be a pitcher. But he could be a two-way guy. First pitch runs inside for ball one. On the mound for fielder's choice in this game, it is number 27, Dominic Williams, the rising senior at Normandy. We saw Normandy earlier on this season, and Williams along with his battery partner in Colin Rooney behind the dish. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, now 1-1. After Pat Radigan goes to Tommy Hash, then Christoph Alexander. Alexander already has a nice play over at short for a double play back in the top of the first inning. Williams is 1-1. Good crack into left field, and it is down for a one-out single. Excellent piece of hitting from Patrick Radigan. Able to get a good cut on the baseball. Gave it a good ride. Good read as well in left field by McHugh, as he was able to easily pick that one up. But to set the defense, Williams on the mound, Rooney behind the dish, Santangelo at first, Reed at second, Biggin at short, Kavanaugh at third, McHugh, Dennison, and finally in right field, Fitzwater sets the defense for fielder's choice. First pitch going to hit the bottom edge, 0-1 the count. Tommy Hash, the ONU commit, now steps in, just finished up his high school career for the Greenmen of Aurora. The 0-1 goes low again and connects, now 0-2. We saw a lot of the future of Aurora last week at the second Kent State invite for the 15U division. A lot of Greenmen represented on those, I believe, 6 rosters we ended up seeing. 2 strikes, Williams setting up on the left, his right of the mound. 0-2, hangs upstairs for ball one. Usually you'll see pitchers stand right in the middle of the mound, but Williams, he is taking the more cockeyed approach, and that could also tell us a lot about where his pitches like to go, the inside. That gives him more room to work with. The lefty's 1-2, breaks into the zone, and it will be popped up on the infield, called off at short by Biggin. He has it 2 down. But it's the little things like placement and setup that really tell you a lot about a pitcher. The lefty obviously is going to pitch a lot different than a righty, but that setup, you can kind of see that breaking ball. He's gone to it a couple of times so far in this inning. It gives him more space, and he knows that he can avoid a hard 90 that way. Worked inside on the lefty, and now on the righty. I would assume he's going to try and work outside. It's Alexander stepping in with 2 away. Runner goes, the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. And on the indifference, he is in easily. Good work from Patrick Radigan, able to take the base. I don't blame Rooney for not throwing. It was a low pitch. Rather keep the ball close than try and be the hero. But now a base hit potentially does score Radigan. We saw his speed moments ago, and we know he's a competitor. He wants to score, and if it's close, I think he is going to test it, especially early on in this game. Weak shot by Alexander, foul, now 0-2. If Alexander is able to keep the inning going, Braden Bortnick, the third baseman, would step in. As for fielder's choice, it is Ryan Clark, Carlos Smith, and AJ Santangelo set to hit in the next inning. Now time called. Colin Rooney is going to go and talk to his fellow invader. As well, we will try and keep you updated on other games around the grounds in the 18U division. We do have an early score over at Munson. B2 Caprasi up 1-0, 2 runners in scoring position, 2 down on the RBI Guardians. So that'll be an interesting one to assess as this game goes on. Runner goes, 1-2, hit down the line, foul. So that'll keep the inning going. But interesting to see B2 Caprasi up early on in that game. We know just how talented those RBI Guardians are. A very scrappy team, if not the scrappiest team in this competition. A couple other games that we are looking at still yet to get underway at their respective locations. The 1-2, driven into center field. It is down for a single. Radigan will test it. The play at the plate is going to be well in time. What a chuck to retire the side. They knew he was going to test it, but that is why you have to be careful rounding third. That was one heck of a relay throw from center. We will check that one again. Perfectly placed, but it is Chase Dennison, the rising senior at Hudson. One hop to Rooney, and all he has to do is just stick out his arm and tell Radigan, go back home. Through one, no score on SmeeSports. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Top two here at Kent State's Schoonover Stadium. No score quite yet. Pat Radigan was sent from third to try and take home on a ball put into center field, but in the end was unable to make it around in time, and that ended that inning. It was a risky call from the start, but one that I kind of expected to happen. We will see if they try and play it a little bit safer next time out, but right now the focus is on the defense. If they can do their job and keep this 0-0, Release's offense showed that they can be dangerous in this game. They just need to put a couple of things together and get the job done. 2-0 hit into right field. Paul Uzak trying to track it down, and he will for out number one. Good work by the University of Tampa commit. With one down, Carlos Smith, the DH, will step in. Smith just finished up his junior season at Walsh Jesuit High School in Cuyahoga Falls, maybe 20-odd minutes away from here. Conrad sets and fires. First pitch down low for ball one. A pseudo rivalry on hand here. Conrad from Ignatius, Smith from Walsh, two of the Jesuit giants in baseball in the area. The 1-0. Going to bounce in for ball two. Obviously, a lot of Holy Wars in the area, but the Holy War is still going to be Eds and Ignatius, and I think that will be the case until the end of time. Walsh, they have another big rivalry, kind of similar to Eds Ignatius, but it's a cross-street rivalry between themselves and Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. 2-0 in there for strike one. We won't see him today, but John Harabedian is rostered to this squad. If he were to pitch, then that would be a battle between the Royals and the Jesuits. Fouled down the line now, 2-2. But looking at this fielder's choice squad, I believe based out of Brecksville, a lot of interesting schools represented. Obviously, you see your Walshes, your Brecksville, Royalton. Then you kind of go more into Wayne County. You have Orville represented. You go back to Summit or Stark with Barberton, Howland out in the Warren area. kind of a good mishmash of talents put together. It's not a bad lineup, and it's not a bad thing to have so many different guys across the board. Conrad's 2-2. In there for strike 3 looking, and there is out number 2. First strikeout of the day for Joseph Conrad. And he is showing why he is committed to Slippery Rock. He will be joining another guy that we have seen a lot on the channel in Tyler Sloan. And a guy that we could be seeing again next week as Team Ohio Pro Select is back in Ohio for the Jacob Garrick Woodbat Classic. Heavy swing and a miss from Santangelo, 0-1 the count. Something to monitor with Santangelo. I believe he did have an injury earlier on in the season, and he did come up lame during warm-ups just trying to catch the ball. So we will see how that holds up. Chopped left side, called off at third. Instead, it's the backup man who gets it, and it's a wild throw from Alexander. And he will walk back to the bag, but I want to see this on the replay just to see if I saw that right. But the way he turned was left. If they would have quickly ran up and tagged him, he was out. It's a minute detail, a very minute detail. He turns, and I think he caved left. Doesn't really matter in this exercise now as he is easily safe, but it's a small thing like that that could have changed this inning and ended it. And obviously in the moment, you're not going to try and see, okay, is the runner going to declare left or not? Your goal is to get the ball. But something to monitor if they continually do it throughout this game. The 0-1, ground ball, chopped to second. Hash will toss it to his shortstop, Alexander, and he will throw back to 1, and the inning is over. Excellent work by the defense of Release, able to get that final out over at second base, and ironically, it is a fielder's choice that retires fielder's choice. Middle of 2, no score here on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Bottom 2 at Schoonover Stadium, 5, 6, and 7 up to bat here for Release. Bornick, Torres, and Paul Uzak. First pitch to Bortnick will miss off the plate for ball 1. For those who missed the bottom of the first inning, Pat Radigan was sent home from second base on a single into center field. In the end, it was a great throw from Chase Dennison, well in time at home. Rooney's tag, pretty much the easiest one that you will see of the day, and that ended the inning. And looking back at the footage, it looked like the head coach of Release did not want Radigan to take off. He wanted him to hold up, but initially he did send him. But he told him to pump the brakes too late, and it looked like even if he did hold up there, the throw back to 3 could have gotten him. Just a tough one. He committed to it. He dug the grave, and he had to lay in it in the end. Ball 3 misses off the plate. Bortnick right now just no pressure to swing. And just like Trobenter, he will also be playing for Tri-C next year. So we get a sneak peek of Braden Bortnick for the Triceratops before fall ball begins in a few months. The 3-0 in there for strike one. But I will say this summer in comparison to last, the amount of Tri-C guys playing in this area has at least quadrupled. Obviously, some of the big names, JB, Brock, they're down south in like the Columbus area playing their ball. But a lot of the guys, Gilbride's playing up here, Ben Pierce, a lot of the new commits, they're playing up in the area. Tri-C, it's a revolution, and it is definitely taking over travel ball in the area. Bornick flying out to center field to get us underway. Dennis did an easier job than the last for out number one. But almost every single game that we cover, there's somebody from Tri-C, or at least some Tri-C DNA in there. That's always fun to see, as they're going to be a fun group next year. Getting Blosser in, the former Avon Lake pitcher, and as well the former Ohio State pitcher. I believe he did use his red shirt, so I believe 2 years of eligibility for Tri-C. If that's the case, look out. If not, just 1 year, that'll be fine too, as I kind of think this is going to be the big year. If they're going to go all the way, this is where they set that foundation this year. The question is, can they take down a Kellogg? And that has been the hurdle that everybody in Region 12 has been unable to overcome over the past couple of seasons. But an 0-1 count on Torres. The pitch. Well off the plate, evening up the count. But Gerardo Torres just finished up his senior year at Eastlake North. Also a lot of good amount of players from Eastlake North that we've seen. The Keogh brothers as well. A lot of those schools out on the east side. And that's no real surprise given the nature of the beast, especially with Manor out there, Riverside, who won their conference. And speaking of Riverside, their softball team winning states, the east side starting to bleed on over into the more true part of the Cleveland area. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Torres. The pitch. Well off the plate, count even. But a guy like Dominic Williams definitely benefiting from having his high school catcher behind the dish. Normandy will be entering year 2 of a new regime. This is where the base is going to start. Can these two give you 10 to 12 good starts together that lead to something? If they can, Normandy has a good shot to make some noise in the playoffs. Swing and a miss. There is out number 2. Dominic Williams making noise with his first strikeout of the day. And going back to the high school season, Normandy took North Canton Hoover to 12 innings. 1-0 was the final, and I believe it was a pass ball that ended their season. But to take a team from the Federal League like Hoover and push them to their very limits, it was a shock. But for those who've covered Normandy or at least seen them this past season, it really wasn't that big of a shock. Everybody knew they had that capability, that it factor about them, that when push came to shove, they could win these games. Going back to the game that we covered of theirs against Holy Name, they were down big entering that final inning. If it wasn't for 1 or 2 calls going against them, they could have taken the lead or even won that game. 0-1 the count on Paul Yazek. The pitch. Inside, evening up the count. As I mentioned earlier, on a putout from Paul Yazek, just graduated from North Royalton and will be heading to the University of Tampa when this summer is over. Speaking of that, around 30 to 35 days left to go of the summer ball season. 1-1 down low for ball 2. July 31st is the final day that these guys can actually play with their summer ball teams. August 1st, everything flips back to OHSAA. You have regulations about what you can have. You have to go back into fall ball rules from there. It's tough, but summer, it's a hard deadline of July 31st. And then right as the calendar flips, it's football season. The 2-1. Ground ball left side of the infield, scooped up by Kavanaugh. His throw to 1 is in time on the stretch from Santangelo, and the side is retired in order. Great work by the defense of the Fielder's Choice squad as they're able to, albeit in a longer time period, able to retire the side with ease in order. Through 2, release 0, Fielder's Choice 0, your score on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Welcome back to Schoonover Stadium, top of the third inning. This game going by a little bit quick, but we also had that false sense of confidence last time we saw this release squad, as they were able to go to 9 innings when we saw them, and it is a lead-off single to begin the third. Michael Reed able to piece it just up the guts. Seeing eye single at its finest, just barely avoided everybody up the middle. Excellent work by the rising senior at Brecksville. We will watch back this hit. Just evades the pitcher and just evades the outstretched Alexander. Perfectly placed. Any more to the left and he's out. And that is assuming that Alexander would have been able to make that throw, which from what we've seen from him today, I would say yes. Bunt now shown. It is down the left side, perfectly placed. Bornick, he will throw to one. He has the trail runner. Almost gets the lead on the throwback to 2, but not in time. It is a simple first out, but good work by Colin Rooney getting that bunt down. Opening run now in scoring position as Sean McHugh steps in, the number 10 hitter. McHugh just finished up his sophomore year at Walsh. Now time called as Hilton and Conrad are going to talk things over. Speaking of them, looking at the rest of their compatriots, Torres at first, Hash at second, Alexander at short, Bornick at third, and from left to right in the outfield, it is Radigan, Olsen, and Paul Uzek, and that will set up the defense for Release Baseball in their first game of the day. McHugh looking to move Reed along. And we could see a reverse of what happened in the first inning. Another ball put in center field, and the runner does hold up. Ground ball left side, scoops up at short, but bobbled by Alexander. There is no play anywhere. It is an E6. Bring the top of the order back up, and that will put the opening run at third. There's a tough bounce there for Alexander, unable to get a clean read. Now Bode Biggin steps in, and now this is where the chess match begins. First and third, runner might take off just depending on the scenario, and also we haven't seen Hilton's arm yet today, but I'm sure it's a dangerous one. First pitch, foul back 0-1. But speaking of Nick Hilton behind the dish, just finished up his senior year at Canton Central Catholic, committed to Ohio Wesleyan. But the Crusaders had a tremendous season, losing in the regional final to eventual state champion Waynedale. We got to see his teammate, the ever-dangerous freshman Brock Berkwin, last weekend. Fake throw to one, and a good job by Conrad to take a quick look at the runner at third as well. The look at one is the easier one for the pitcher, the more natural motion. To third, not as easy. Runner will go. It is going to be a basic throw down to second. The tag's not there, and the run scores 2. And that will bring in the opening run of the game. Fielder's choice strikes first. Kind of surprised to see that play out. I kind of thought that was supposed to be a cutoff for Alexander based on the way that he was standing around the bag. So we'll see. Hilton's throw just going too low and kind of catching him off guard as it went right at the belt. Either way, the opening run is on the board, and now fielder's choice a chance to bring in their second. Going back to that first inning, that run from Radigan would have been very important right now. But baseball is a long game, still a lot of action left to go. So we will see how both teams play this one out, especially Release, as they need a run now at some point in this game. As well, for those unfamiliar with the rules of the 965, we do have a 2-hour time limit for these games. We started at 8:30 on the dot, meeting probably 8:26. So 10:26 is the final time we can start an inning. 1-2 in there for strike three looking. There is out number two. As well, second strikeout of the day recorded by Joseph Conrad. And as well, on top of that, it's the second one looking. The swing and miss is the easier method. But so far, Conrad getting batters to just freeze in the box. Now Chase Dennison, the center fielder, steps in. He hit into a double play his last time up, but has more than made up for it in center field today. One put out in the air and one put out at home on an excellent chuck to retire the side back in the first. Conrad's 0-1, swing and a miss, now 0-2. In the bottom of the third, it is Hilton, White, and Brady Olson in the 8, 9, and 10 slots. And they will need to get this offense rolling. 2 strikes to count. The pitch, well off the plate for ball one. Good take from Dennison, trying not to be overzealous in the box to swing. But at the same time, he knows anything put into the outfield, they're going to try and send that runner home, and they're going to try and make this a 2-0 ball game, and he could be the guy to establish that cushion. But first time called. And even if he doesn't, he's the reason this game is not 1-1. Without him in center field, I don't know if Radigan would have been out. Not a throw a lot of guys can make. The 1-2 inside almost clips the jersey but misses him. 2-2 the count. If Dennison gets on, it's Jackson Cavanaugh back in. Release Baseball in need of out number 3. They need a good couple moments to reset and then get back at it. Runner goes 2-2, swing and a miss, and that will retire the side. In the end, it is the third strikeout of the day from Conrad, getting him out of the inning, but the opening run still scores. First and third, runner takes second, runner takes home. Everybody's safe all the way around. At the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Fielder's choice strikes first in this first quarterfinal of the day. But now Release Baseball has a chance to respond in the bottom of the third inning. 1-0 your score here on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. For those just joining us, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning. And it is a nice snag at short. The throw to one is in time for out number 1. What a defensive web gem by the shortstop Biggin. in the hole between the second and shortstop. It is the shortstop closing the gap with an excellent slide, first of all, and then the throw to one somehow is there. Absolutely fluid from Biggin. That might be the play of the game so far. That was tremendous work. First pitch in there for strike one to Braden White. White just finished up his senior year at Shaker Heights. He is committed to Union College. Not to be confused with the old Mount Union College. But now it is the University of Mount Union. Albeit some of the older stone buildings have MUC still engraved, and so does the alma mater. That was the weird thing about orientation. When hearing the alma mater for the first time, seeing MUC, kind of was lost there, and then eventually put one and one together once I wasn't out in the 90-degree heat. The 1-1 popped over the foul netting and out of play. Last season, we did have two broadcasts of Mount Union Athletics on the channel for baseball. And on top of that, we did have a couple of big press conferences from the MCVL tournaments. And on top of that, the NCAA Regional hosted by UMU. The 1-2, good drive into left field, still going back. Underneath it in left is going to be McHugh, and he is able to just track it down for out number 2. Good, powerful drive, but not enough to clear the left fielder. Now Brady Olson, the center fielder, steps in. The now graduate of Gilmore Academy is committed to play baseball at the Division III World Series appearancers, Denison. I believe they did make it to the Final Four. They were a team to watch in there. Rowan was a big one. Kind of a surprise commodity making it as far as they did, but they impressed a lot of people, especially with some big guys like Phil Sedalis. But a lot of fun baseball in this area. But the boys from Granville, they made a statement this year, and they might be an early contender to make it to the championship game next year to try and dethrone Wisconsin Whitewater. But dethroning Whitewater is going to take a lot more than your best game. It's going to take maybe the best game of all time, because we even saw it in the championship. They were up maybe 13-0 in the third inning of the Division III championship game. I think it got so out of hand that NCAA posted the other team scored a run in the fifth inning. They posted just that one run and said, like, finally scored. That's how out of hand that game got. Both of them did, for that matter. The 1-1 runs inside for ball 2. But I remember seeing that and really scratching my head as to what the motive was there for that post. What animosity was had at that other squad. Heading into the fourth inning for fielder's choice, it is Kavanaugh, Clark, and Smith set to hits. 2-1 the count. The pitch from Williams. Breaks in, shot up the middle. Once again, a chance at short. He has another one, but this time cannot get the ball out to first. It is an infield single for Brady Olson. You cannot fault him at all for not getting that throw off. The fact that Biggin was able to track that one down again is impressive in its own right. Putting out a great highlight reel so far today. The rising senior at Howland, obviously a lot of big competition, but for a guy that has pretty much every single game covered that he's playing in, this is a good start to get him some good offers next year. And Howland, after a really decent season, they could be a really good contender to watch for the next couple of years out in that area, with football entering the EBC at least, potentially other squads entering too. If they can make some noise in the EBC in a couple of years, then I think they're really going to start being taken seriously, even more so. Runner goes, pitches inside, throw down to second. Rooney unable to get it there. It was a close one, but not close enough. But good reaction time and good pop time from Colin Rooney behind the dish. The throw was once again right on the money, but Olson now into scoring position for release. And it is one of the last guys that you want to see in the batter's box with a guy in scoring position, A.J. Trobenter. Trobenter pops that one left side, and it will go out of play, foul. A.J. Trobenter had a host of home runs this past season for the Lake Catholic Cougars. Him and Radigan entering the playoffs going blow for blow in that regard. They both had 3 entering the district final. He got his 4th there, and I think maybe Radigan got one more. They were in and around that same range the whole season, and they really did show up and show out for Lake Catholic whether it be at their home field or any of their other homes, such as Andrews Osborne. That was the nice thing that they had going for them. If a game got rained out at home, 9 times out of 10, they just bumped the game to AOA, which is in Willoughby down the road from Menor. But a chance for A.J. Trobenter to do some damage for release. And damage is almost done to him as he has to back out of the way of that one. I mentioned it earlier, he is committed to Tri-C, and you have to figure with Brendan Hazuda out of the way, it's the battle between him and Bryson Britton. And I think he does have enough talent to win that job early on and potentially put Britton in that DH role in rotation with himself. It also depends on who else Coach Stahlberg was able to bring in. Hit down the line, foul, now 2-2. Another big addition was Lincoln Briggs from Medina, committed to Ashland initially to then flip to Tri-C. That's another big one coming in. We mentioned Blosser already. Nolan Ignacio, the athlete of the year from St. Ignatius, he's coming in as well. Tri-C is going to be one heck of a squad next year, and pretty much every single game, as I mentioned, that we cover, there's somebody in there from Tri-C. But 2-2 the count on Trobenter. It is Pat Radigan awaiting in the on-deck circle after his fellow Lake Catholic alumnus. Williams 2-2. A good crank down the right field line. And it is going to go foul and one hop the fence. You see that sheer power from A.J. Trobenter, able to drive the baseball with ease. The question is, can he straighten one out? And if he does, that one is going to die in the corner quick. And once we pan back to the outfield, once the ball is put in play or once the inning is over, under that fence, it just has that slight gap underneath. It's not out of play. It's just a spot that you have to kind of dig the ball out of. The 2-2 hung over the plate and popped foul. Good survival cut by Trobenter. This inning still going by somewhat quick. We are nearing the 45-minute mark of this game. If it ends around here, then we are averaging around 15 minutes per inning, which is not a bad pace at all. And especially not in a bad sense like in this game, as this has been a great contest so far. Williams tries the 2-2 again. Hits it right back up the middle. It's a skip to my Lou on the mound. And Trobenter has tied up the game for release. Perfect placement by A.J. Trobenter, and we are knotted up at 1. Beautiful drive up the middle. He was trying to straighten it out his entire at-bat. Finally pokes one up the gut, and that is enough. Off your screen, he celebrated immediately. He knew what it meant to his team, and that is enough to reset the scenarios and reset the ball game. Now Pat Radigan is in looking to make amends after last time. But he is 1 for 1 at the plate. First pitch going to miss off for ball 1. But that is a big run scoring for release baseball. They needed something this inning to respond to fielder's choice, and they got their response in the form of A.J. Trobenter. Williams, his 1-0. Misses down low for ball 2. Not a big lead at all for A.J. Trobenter over at first base. Once again, he is the DH in this game, so no courtesy run for him. I would assume he is being saved for whether it be the semifinals and the championship or just the championship later on today. He does have the big, strong arm for release. He has the arm they need. So I think we will see him later on today, assuming this is not a one-and-done day for release. 2-0 off the plate for ball 3. After Radigan, it is Tommy Hash, the second baseman, in the on-deck circle. Then in the hole, it is Christoph Alexander. But a potential turning point in favor of release. 3 balls, no strikes. The pitch. Hit foul. Surprised to see the green light there. But that'll be strike 1. Radigan is one of the few guys that would make sense to have that green light, but still, really surprised to see that there. Now it's more of a battle, and we'll see if it still plays out in his favor, but I don't know if that's the pitch you attack with a 3-0 count. Now, if it was called, you have to go with it, but if not, I don't know. The 3-1, it won't matter. It's off the plate for ball 4. Now 2 on with 2 down. Tommy Hash will step in. A chance to give Release their first lead of the day. And if you are a fielder's choice, now might not be a bad time to call time to go and have a meeting with Rooney and Williams. And they will have a second here as nobody has gone to retrieve the stray bat. Finally, it is taken off the field. But I kind of think if this is a rough start for Williams to this at-bat, you have to go out there and call time, whether it be Rooney himself behind the dish or the head coach. But Hash, a big spot. First pitch misses inside for ball 1. Keep in mind, this isn't like your typical bracket. Top 8 make it. Everybody, if they make it to the championship game, would have to play a total of 3 games today. You have to be very conservative with your pitching. Williams is 1-0. Going to miss low for ball 2. 6 balls out of his last 7 pitches. And the 1 strike was fouled away by Radigan, which could have also been out of the zone. One more here, you have to go and talk to him. Williams sets up for his 2-0 pitch. And that one is behind him for ball 3. Rooney takes an extra second to go and maybe say something, but I am really surprised not to see anything. Williams is a good pitcher, but right now just not finding the zone. And I think actions do speak louder than words, as we will have a guy scamper to the bullpen. That is Steven Bubon. The 3-0 runs inside, but just hits the inner edge for strike 1. And it will be JoJo Porter going down with him to warm him up or potentially be the new guy. But I feel like before you make that move, you call time to go talk to him, unless they're going to do that next and then give him time to warm up, which could also make sense. But Williams, his goal is to avoid that conversation and just get out of the inning here. The 3-1 on the outside edge, but they will call it ball 4, and that will load up the bases. Still 2 outs, a great 2-out rally, and now time is called by the coaching staff of Fielder's Choice to have a word with Dominic Williams on the bump. Stay with us throughout this day here at Kent State University. 10:45, it is the H24 Longhorns taking on Release Baseball. At 1, it is T3 taking on the Cleveland Baseball Federation's 17U squad. At 3:15, we have the winners of the 18U games, this game and then the game before it. And then at 5:30, it is the championship game for the 18U division of the 2025 Laurie Mendenhall Memorial Showcase. Should be a fun day of baseball here. A lot of games going on in the area. The other quarterfinal that is in action right now, it is B2 Caprasi taking on the RBI Guardians. Quick score update from Thurman Munson in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is 1-1. Owen Scanlon just hit an RBI single, and that is where things stand over there. So both games, same spot, same score. Really shaping up for a good finish to this tournament. But Christoph Alexander, a chance to open the skies offensively for Release. Ball 1 taken off the plate. But Don Williams needs to settle down, and if you are calling Rooney, you are the expert as to how to settle him down pretty much, as you've caught for him the past 3 seasons at Normandy. The 1-0. A good drive down the left field line, but foul. Yet another deep crack from this Release offense, but just foul. If that one were to land in fair territory, I think it's safe to say 2 runs, maybe 3 come around. But keep in mind, this is still a 1-1 game. Anybody can win it. But Release right now making the bigger strides. 1-0 the count. The pitch. The 1-1, and it will hit him. And that will bring in the go-ahead run. Still 2 outs. Hard 90 for Alexander. And by doing nothing, he puts on run number 2. The easiest way to bring in a run, a walk or a hard 90. In this case, Alexander has to wear it. They have ice for him in the dugout if needed. But Release now has control, and that control can be firmed up even more with Bortnick here. First pitch dips down low for ball one, and I kind of think based on the situation, this will be the final batter that Williams would face. If he gets out of it, he comes out one more time at least. But right now, I kind of think if another one is walked in, that's when you kind of have to make that tough call. And if he's under the pitch count, you can throw him again later if absolutely necessary. The 1-0 inside for ball two. And that is a tough thing here. The only positive for the fielder's choice, their pitchers are not on pitch counts. The collegiate kids, they only have so many pitches they can throw before the college coach comes in and says, "Nuh-uh, you're done." These guys, they're uncommitted. They can do whatever they want, really. And I've seen that so many guys committing early on, and they can only play on certain days of the week for only certain innings and certain times. It's really tough to work with. 2-0 breaks in, and that is a beautiful first strike. I think I mentioned it earlier on in this game. Based on where Williams is standing on the mound, it serves the breaking ball well that he has more space for it to operate. If he has to operate with the breaking ball to get out of this inning, it might not be ideal, but you have to call that if you are Rooney. And he will call it again, and now it's 2-2. Love the adjustment by both parties. I would assume Rooney called the pitch, and he saw the breaking ball worked once, does it again, and now they're one strike away from stranding the bases loaded. In the meantime, Steve and Boubon all warmed up and ready to go if needed. Expect another breaking ball. We get it, but it misses off the plate for ball three. That was his only play there. You have to go with the breaking ball. That's the one that is consistently in and around the strike zone. It might not be ideal given the scenario, but you kind of have to go with it. A big pitch. Williams the payoff. It is off the plate for ball four, and that will bring in the third run of the game and of the inning. Bases remain loaded. He attacked with the breaking ball, and as I said, that was his best play there. It just didn't work out in his favor. He will stay in at least for one more batter. It is Gerardo Torres, the lefty, stepping in 0 for 1 in this game with a strikeout. And he is the lone strikeout victim of Dominic Williams so far today. First pitch on the edge for strike one. Also, I would say good framing work from Rooney behind the dish. But we will see what the play of this fielder's choice coaching staff is in regard to their pitching. They could make the change. They could just stay par for the course. The 0-1 breaks over the plate. Wow, what a pitch. Now 0-2. That's why the breaking ball has been his best. Ever since he got that first strike on the last at-bats, everything has been a breaking ball. And if you are Torres, you have to sit it. If you think it's bottom corner, chuck your bat out there, try and poke it down the line or in between short and third. That is what you're going to have to do here because you have to sit breaking ball until shown otherwise. He shows it again and leaves it upstairs for ball one. I feel like now, 1-2, you're in control. This is where the fastball is reintegrated. Bring a high fastball. They're going to swing because they think it's going to drop, and that's where pitch trolling is going to work out. High fastball gets the swing and a miss, and the inning's over. And instead it hits off of his head. Or did it hit the bat? It does hit the bat, so it will stay 1-2. Both kind of right in line there. Didn't get the bat down in time. But he is still in control. I think that high heater is going to work. The question is, does it get called by Cullen Rooney or not? He knows his pitcher a lot better than I do. The question is, how do you play this scenario? Goes breaking ball outside again. Now 2-2. Less control now for Williams. And if you are released, you're sitting on the breaking ball. If you see it inside, you know it's going out. Out it's coming in. Up it's going down. You know where the ball is going to go based on really just predictive analysis. This is where all the stat nerds really get their fun. But it's true. It's just the game script, and you have to read that kind of cadence as a hitter. the best hitters, they can understand the game script, and they can adapt and really be able to predict the pitches without having to use Altuve and a trash can. The 2-2 once again breaks, and he will pop it out of here foul. In the on-deck circle after Torres, it is Jake Paul-Uzak, the right fielder. Fielder's choice, they led to begin the inning. They will leave the frame at least down by 2. And their offense will have to get to work again in the top of the 4th. The 2-2, swing and a miss, and the side has been retired. The second out of the inning was recorded at 9:12. 14 minutes later and 3 runs later, Release has a 2-run lead through 3. 3-1 your score. It is the 4th seed on top on SmeeSports. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Top 4 here at Schoonover Stadium on the campus of Kent State University. 3-1 your score. Release baseball on top of Fielder's Choice. For those just tuning in, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning, live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. First pitch of the 4th will miss off the plate for ball 1. And it does appear that the call to the bullpen has been made. Joseph Conrad, if that's the case, it appears he's still in, just wearing number 15, which is very misleading as to what we were given initially, but not surprised to see him stay in. Kind of surprised to see that cord pulled this early if that was the case. The reason why it made sense is number 15 on the active roster that we have is John Harabedian, which also would have been really weird to see that move made right now, especially that he could be the ace of this squad, assuming a guy like Andrew Karhoff doesn't show up randomly at 3:15 for the next game. 3 balls, no strikes. The count, though, on Kavanaugh, the leadoff hitter. And there is strike 1. The last inning might be enough to tell the story of this game in its own right. 3 runs scoring for Release, 1 for Fielder's Choice. What looked like another quick inning quickly spiraled into one of the longest of the season. And that'll be ball 4 inside. I said it during the frame, and here it is again. At 9:12, out number 2 was recorded. At 9:26, out number 3. Only 1 mound visit in there. 14 minutes, so maybe in baseball time, 10 real minutes pass, 3-run score. With 2 outs, no less. It was excellent work, and it was all started by A.J. Trobenter. Olsen got the hit that kept the inning going, but it was A.J. Trobenter's RBI single that put them on the board. Then you have the hard 90 that brought in run number 2, and then Bornick was patient, walked, came in, and brought in run number 3. But now Fielder's Choice, they need some runs here. Conrad still trying to recapture the zone. I kind of think next inning for Fielder's Choice, we will see the call of the bullpen. And if that is going to be the case, then we would then see most likely Steven Bubon. Throw back to 1, close but not in time. Another tough thing to look at with this game. To break down the jerseys, fielder's choice in the whites with blue lettering, release in the whites with red lettering. You can't see either one from up here, really. The jerseys are the same. Now 1-1 the count. The next game should be a lot easier to tell. The Longhorns more orange, and even if release does wear red, you should be able to tell as both have their own distinct style and flair. The 1-1 down low for ball 2. But the H24 Longhorns still able to produce a lot of top players. Haven't seen them yet this summer. Obviously, their main squad that we would see is their DeBoard squad. A lot of top talents such as the Akron commit of Andon Bender. But H24, they are starting to reemerge as a top program this year. Still a lot of newcomers. Fielder's Choice, one that we haven't seen before. Release, they have been in and around this for the last couple of years. They're big now. Cleveland Baseball Federation, though, still, we will see them later on today. The biggest story of the summer, their stock, I think, had the biggest rise. Great throw back to one, and he got him. Joe Conrad, what a move. And that is a big first out. First pickoff move of the day, successful from the Ignatius grad. And that changes this inning. Leadoff man aboard to, all of a sudden, one more strike. It's 2 up, 2 down. That is why having a great pickoff move can be even better than having a great breaking ball, or you name it. Chopped foul and off the hand of Hilton. It appears he is okay. That'll be something to monitor during this game. Once again, we do have Trobenter active for this release squad, but the goal is to preserve him for later on in this tournament. Now, if Hilton is on the shelf and can't go, Trobenter is going to grind out this game and then the next two. That's an obvious. He's going to grind those out and play about as well as humanly possible behind the dish, as that is what you expect from A.J. Trobenter. But first of all, what a beautiful breaking ball for strike 3. I believe that's the changeup that got him for out number 2. The way that ball just died into the zone, based on that, for sure, I would say a changeup. We will see it here just to see the motion again. Wow. Absolutely beautiful from Joseph Conrad. First pitch inside for ball 1. It is Carlos Smith, the DH, now in. But usually the breaking ball is what we see, but no, goes the changeup there, and there was no chance he was making contact. Ground ball, chopped. Hash picks it up at 2. Tough throw at 1, and he got it to retire the side. Excellent play by Hash, able to let that one travel to him, and the inning is over. Conrad, nasty on the bases and nasty on the mound. Middle of 4 here at Schoonover Stadium. It is Release Baseball up 3-1 on Fielder's Choice. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Release's defense holding up their end of the bargain in the top of the fourth inning. Great work by Joseph Conrad on the mound. He has been tremendous so far. Could be in line to win Player of the Game presented by the Health VCU Chiropractic Center. Stay tuned after our final commercial break where those honors will be dished out. But for Release's offense this frame, it is Paul Yazak, Hilton, and White in the 7, 8, and 9 slots. Up by 2, but still some room to improve. Right now the focus of Release is to establish a good barrier and get this win. They will have 2 time slots off before their next game, before then obviously being a doubleheader, but that's not a bad thing for them. The only tough thing about being here at Kent State, the team in the other semifinals that comes out of it, as that's a nice catch for out number 1, they will play at 1 and then have 3:15 off to not only travel up here, but also to rest. And that's going to be big. But that was an excellent snag by Kavanaugh in foul territory. And with 1 down, that will see Nick Hilton, the catcher, step in. If chalk is to prevail, we would see Release take on T3 at 1 o'clock. Or excuse me, that's at 3:15. T3 plays at 1 against the Cleveland Baseball Federation. And I think the big one to look at in the other bracket is who wins the 7 versus 2. You might say, okay, 2 seeds winning. Supreme Baseball has a lot of studs, a lot of great ballers, if you will. But Ohio Elite squad, I mean, albeit they might be out of pitching, they are one of the best teams in this tournament, even as the 7 seed. Marchetta through Thursday. He might be active today for a later game. Polanyi through yesterday. You still, I believe, have Bonus, and you also have a couple Carrollton guys. And Brady Bowen can pitch. You can bring in Braden Deutsch, bring in the younger siblings again to win. We'll see what they do. 1-1 down low for ball 2. And on top of that, Kyle McCoy, dual rostered for not only Ohio Elite, but also in the WRCL for Force Ohio. It'll be interesting to see if they do make it all the way here today at all. The 2-1, fouled back now 2-2. And we are still monitoring the battle between the 6 and 3 seed B2 Caprasi and the RBI Guardians. But right now it appears that Corey Douglas' squad is having their way with the defense. 3-1 the score. Runners at the corners in the bottom of the 4th inning. The game is mirrored pretty much, except for the base runners. 2-2 the count on Hilton. The pitch. Weak chop left side. Once again, it's Kavanaugh. He will throw across the diamond. It's high. There's the tag, and he got it for out number 2. We will take a look at that tag to make sure it was there in time, and I think it is. And as well, in the meantime, the call to the bullpen, as expected, was made. It is Stephen Bubon, the rising senior at Howland, now on to pitch. And we'll see the throw across. Tag got him. Excellent recovery at first base by Santangelo. 2 up, 2 down to begin the bottom of the 4th inning. Braden White now steps in, flying that one into center field. Dennison, maybe 3 steps. He's under it. Side retired in order. Excellent efficiency from the defense of Fielder's Choice as they're able to easily get out of the 4th inning unharmed. Through 4, we have a good ball game on our hands. Release Baseball 3, Fielder's Choice 1, your score. Once again, to preview the rest of the day at 10:45, this is going to be our probably one and only 14U game of the year. It is Release Baseball taking on the H24 Longhorns. That is in a semifinal game. I believe the championships will be played later on today at Thurman Munson, field number 2. Speaking of Munson, we will get some teams in from there later on this afternoon. But going to the 1 o'clock hour, it is going to be a very fun 1 p.m. first pitch between the Warhawks and Cleveland Baseball Federation, the battle of the 1 and 8 seed. For those who have been with us, this is the 17U CBF squad, not the 18U squad that you have grown accustomed to seeing. Then at 3:15, the winner of the 1 o'clock game and the game that you are watching right now will play each other for a spot in the championship game. Their opponent will already be determined by that point, as the other semifinal will take place at Thurman Munson, field number 2 at 1 p.m. The winner of B2 Caprasi and the RBI Guardians takes on the winner of Ohio Elite and Supreme Baseball. Then the winner of that game at 1 comes here for a 5:30 first pitch. The winner of the top bracket then faces them. And then we say kumbaya and do it again next week. Should be a fun ending here at Kent State. We will step aside real quick as we flip to the 5th inning. Release up by 2. Top of 5 at Schoonover Stadium. Release baseball up 3-1 on Fielder's Choice. For those just tuning in, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning. First pitch is in there for strike 1 to Santangelo. It is the first baseman, Santangelo, then Fitzwater and Reed this inning in the 6, 7, and 8 slots. Fielder's Choice down by 2 in search of some runs. As well, it is still Conrad on the mound, and Conrad is, as expected, shoving. And as well, score update from Munson. That game all but over. 5-1 now the score. The RBI Guardians able to pile on a whole host of runs after we last checked. The fourth just ended, but that game, I would say, firmly in their grasp. 2-1 the count here on Santangelo. That pitch just going to miss for ball 3. But assuming that result holds over there, and this one does as well, the first 2 quarterfinals will be chalk games. Kind of as expected. I think a lot of people do expect the RBI Guardians to emerge from the bottom bracket. But at the same time, there are a couple of other good competitors in there. That will be a leadoff walk for Santangelo, and that will bring up the tying run in Tanner Fitzwater. But if we're looking at that bracket, once again, Supreme and Ohio leads the most telling game. If OEB wins that game, albeit with minimal pitching, then I think they can make it here. They already beat the RBI Guardians in an elimination game earlier on this summer. They could probably do it again. As for this bracket, Release in T3. T3, I would say, are the favorites if they get there. Obviously, the 1 seed undefeated. And just so many top-tier talents on that squad. But this Release baseball squad, if they can take some time to rest and get back to their best, it should be a fun one. Runner goes, throw down right beyond the money, and he will get it. No, it's actually going to be he's safe, and he's going to go to third, and he is going to be out. A long-winded first out, and that will clear the bases. I think technically Santangelo does get credited with the stolen bag. Safe at second, but just stumbled off of the base and got caught in a rundown. Not your average, ordinary, everyday throw-out attempt. But still, Hilton was close. He almost had it. But once again, just like the last one, bouncing left. And now, I think the Fielder's Choice squad is going to try and appeal and say he got around the tag. Which, if he did, then I think you bring the other question into here. Okay, was he in the base path? Which I kind of think the answer based on that dive is no. Whichever way you want to call it, I do think the call is right on the field. Whether it be you want to say he was safe and was out of the bases, so he's out, or they got him naturally. I think he emerged too far to the grass. But we'd have to see that replay up and close again to officially decide that. Weak grounder right side. Hash has to charge it. He throws to 1. Easily there for out number 2. Even in these more pressurized situations, more of a rush, the fundamentals still prevail. In talking to Coach Edwards of the 17U squad, he says, Release just plays baseball the right way, and that's what they're doing here. Fundamental baseball is always going to give you a shot to win the game that you're playing. We have seen that so often this year. Fundamentals beat flair 10 times out of 10. You can have a hobby bias sliding package, but if you can't hit the ball, you can't do the basic things right, it only does so much. Being a well-rounded player, that's what Release preaches, and that is a lot of what Matt Rosinski, the pretty much general manager of Release, works on. And a lot of that comes from his time and his still current tenure at Baldwin Wallace as an assistant coach. And they have done a great job over at BW this year. A rough start, but they did win the OAC tournament, making it all the way to the regional tournament, losing to Salisbury, if I'm not mistaken. Ball 2 taken down low by Michael Reed. 1 for 1 in this game with a single. And get this, he has the only hit of the game for Fielder's Choice. Otherwise, it has been free passes and errors. And it was an infield single, if I'm not mistaken, too. 2-1 blows behind for ball 3. Right now the time, 9:46. Around 40 minutes left to go of the time limit. Based on how we're working right now, unless we get a shock run rule, I think we're going to finish all 7 in a timely fashion. 3-1 backs him out for ball 4. Hope once again on the bases for fielder's choice. Colin Rooney, the catcher, steps in. Kind of unfair to compare his last at-bat to this one. He bunted his last time up in a more sacrificial role. This time out, can't do that. So we will see what Colin decides to do here. Could opt for a big swing. It could also be precision swinging, as it's a tough craft to perfect, but if you know how to push the baseball around, you might be able to find some success in that regard. And that's kind of where he wants to put that one, and it is through for a single. Excellent piece of hitting from Colin Rooney. Able to bring his hands and the barrel all the way around to chop at that left side. Alexander, he gave it his all, and he has been doing that this whole game. But once again, precision hitting, if you can master it, it is a handy tool to have. But now the tying run stands at first base. This is a key spot for Sean McHugh. McHugh, so far in this game, has reached on an error. But a base hit makes this most likely a one-run game. Down the line, foul, 0-1. Now, a ball that gets stuck in either the left field or right field corner, and I think we're going to be tied up at 3. But right now, it's just one run at a time. That has to be the focus of this squad. Doesn't matter how you score the run, you just have to bring them in. And now is a great time to do it, albeit with 2 down. The 0-1 missing low, now 1-1. But a very good opening game to begin the championships of the Laurie Mendenhall Memorial Showcase. We expected a good game like this. We expected a highly contested affair, and that is what we are being treated to as of now. Throw back to second, not going to be in time. Almost enough to end the inning. I do like that aggressive move. Definitely the right idea, but not executed to perfection. In the bottom of the inning for release, it is Olsen then top. And looking at it, all 3 guys that are set to hit in the next inning already have a hit in this game. Swing and a miss, now 1-2. Release needs this out here. Any run scored by fielder's choice in this frame, and they still have a shot. But Release, they have a chance if their offense can roll again in the bottom of the inning. They can slam the door. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Well upstairs, evening up the count. Once again, still 4 more games after this today. Next up, it is the H24 Longhorns taking on Release Baseball in the 14U Division semifinals. Should be a fun battle there. 2-2 the count. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and the side is retired. Joseph Conrad pumped up on the mound. Strikeout number 5 today from the Ignatius grad, and the inning is over. The tying run behind him at first base. He needed a big out. Who else to turn to but himself to get it? We'll see it here on the replay. Perfectly placed, and right away you see that celebration as the replay cuts. He is fired up, and he is loving it so far. Middle of 5, Release hanging on to their 2-run lead. The offense looks to solidify their margin when we return. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Releases offense looking to slam the door shut on fielder's choice in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 3 guys that are set to hit here, they have all but one of the hits today for Releases offense. First pitch to Olsen is a strike, 0-1 the count. It's Brady Olsen in the 10 slot, A.J. Trobenter in the 1, and Patrick Radigan in the 2. This is Boubon's second inning of work in this game after coming in for Dominic Williams. Williams, 3 innings of work, 3 runs allowed, and right now is in line for the loss. The 1-1, ground ball hit to second, picked up by Reed. Simple throw to 1 is in time for out number 1. I give a lot of credit to this fielder's choice defense over the past inning and a third. They're really going back to the basics. They're getting back to their best, and they're doing a great job putting aside that 3rd inning. I said it back when it happened. That inning could tell the full story of this game, as all 4 runs combined have been scored in that 1 inning. And if that's the case, then that's going to be a tough way for these guys to go out in this tournament. Trobenter, a good pop into left center field. Underneath it is going to be the left fielder, and he has it. McHow able to get that one in for out number 2. Or excuse me, that was McHugh over in left. But 2 up, 2 down. Patrick Redigan back in. So far 1 for 1 with a stolen bag, a single, and a walk to his name. In the top of the 6th, it is the top of the order in Biggin, Dennison, and Kavanaugh. Releases offense struggling to get back to their form from a few innings ago, and that's going to be tough for them if they can't consistently hit the ball in their next game, assuming they get there. Keep in mind, fielder's choice, they need 2 runs, 6 outs to work with. And the goal of an inning like this was to really slam the door shut on the opponent. That might help, but it will be picked up at second base, and that will retire the side. A good pop from Radigan, but once again, release goes in order. Reed has an excellent play yet again. Second put out of the frame. We will watch this one back. It looked like initially Radigan was going to get a 2-out single. Off the bat, it looked good, but it's Reed's range that tells the story. And there was the out at 1. Through 5, it is Release Baseball up 3-1 on fielder's choice. Joseph Conrad and company back out on the diamond defensively when we return. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Through 5, it is the 4th seed hanging on, up 3-1 on fielder's choice. Fielder's choice so far in this game, only able to get that 1 run across, but there's still time for them to work. But the big issue is right in front of them in number 15, Joseph Conrad. Conrad has been tremendous this game on the mound, and he has really dominated and set the tempo perfectly. Only 2 hits allowed so far in the game, and he is not showing any signs of slowing down. We saw him very much animated after the 5th inning, getting his 5th punch out of the day to retire the side and keep the offense at bay. And he is still riding that high into the 6th. There has been some action, I believe, in the release bullpen, but nothing concrete enough to take him out of the game. And given that he is 6 outs away from getting this one done, and this is tournament ball, assuming Slippery Rock does not cap him, I think you let him finish this game. You save your pitching for the next 2 games. 2 strikes the count. And there is out number 1. Strikeout number 6 today by Joseph Conrad. He has been lights out on the mound. Absolutely dominant. Now that'll bring in Chase Dennison, the center fielder, a double play victim and a strikeout victim so far today. But this is the outing that Joseph Conrad needed. A big statement outing in a tournament elimination game. That one shot foul, now 0-1 the count. And I'm sure for the younger guys watching on us, this is going to be followed up by a 14U game. This is a great spot to check the fundamentals of a pitcher. You're seeing Conrad switch between his off speeds and his fastball perfectly. If you're a pitcher, this might be the perfect guy to watch to really perfect your craft at a young age. 0-1 foul behind, now 0-2. And he's also showing foul balls are okay. A lot of times pitchers get antsy when they see a foul ball. Okay, they were close, but not close enough to do damage. This is a good outing for them to see, just to see how you stay in the right headspace as a pitcher. And Joe Conrad, in that regard, has been a great teacher for these young guys. The 0-2. Once again fouled away, this time into the trees. We've mentioned it a couple of times. Schoonover Stadium just kind of in a field of trees. You take a turn down a road, and all of a sudden you enter Narnia, and there's a beautiful baseball stadium right smack dab in the middle. Time called, and it looked like the umpire kind of just gave a look over to that fielder's choice dugout. Nothing crazy, maybe something was said over there. But either way, still 0-2 on Dennison. The pitch bounces in for ball 1. As well, for those taking a look at the time limit, around a half hour, 26 minutes, depending on when they officially started the clock, left to go before this one gets capped. The 1-2, down low for ball 2. But right now, the way things are going, I will assume we play the 7th inning. I assume we get it done even before the time limit's done. But we will see when the time comes, or if we even do see that inning. Obviously not a guarantee for sure. 2-2, swing and a miss. It's number 7 for Joseph Conrad. 2 up, 2 down. Back-to-back-to-back strikeouts spanning back to last inning. Time now called, and I think that will be the curtain call for Joe Conrad. But now maybe not. They're looking at the mound, it appears. Maybe some conversation. We did see Dominic Williams have some trouble with his footing earlier on today. That could be the conversation, or this is just simply get out of the inning. I think that's all it's going to be. Don't really know what was there, as coach just kind of came on, told the catcher go back up, and now he's gone. The releases coach, more of the laid-back style of coaching, but he lets the guys run this group. He lets them run it as a cohort, and so far this season, they've had a lot of success because of it. And at this level, so many guys going to the college level, so many former team captains, you can kind of just let them do the talking themselves and kind of be a moderator more than anything, especially given the talents on this team. 0-1 in there now, 0-2. And especially with a guy like Joseph Conrad on the mound. I mean, what would they have done in this game without him? Can he get a 3rd strikeout in this inning? Not quite. That one's passed for ball 1. And if he were to, after allowing his 2nd hit, that would be his 4th strikeout in a row. One, two, now the count after the wayward first ball. Conrad sets and fires. Hit right back up the middle. It's off the mound, and it will be a 2-out single for Jackson Cavanaugh. A good piece right up the gut. We will take a second look at that one via our video replay. Perfectly placed once again. A lot of guys have had a great time straightening the ball out just right up the middle. That's the easiest spot to put it when you're straightening it out. Conrad just unable to get that glove low enough, and that is enough to put somebody on with 2 down. And getting him around becomes a really big task for Clark and company. First pitch going to miss down low for ball 1. And now the question is, was that mound visit get out of this inning quickly, or your numbers up? Which I kind of think if there is one more guy put on this inning that we will see that change made, is going to be in a tough spot, and maybe not the best one, but you have to play the scenario. You want to give Conrad full faith if you can, which I think that is the right decision. But if he starts to unravel or lose slight control of the zone, you're going to have to make that tough call. As I mentioned, this group kind of runs themselves, but as the head coach, there's only so many things you can have your group kind of dictate. You as the coach, you decide who goes out there, you decide who stays in how long, and you decide those pieces, and that's a big decision for him to make, especially in an elimination game. Throwback to 1, not in time. And beyond the 7 strikeouts, he also does have a pickoff at first base. You add all of that up, it has been a very successful outing for Joe Conrad. The 1-1 in there for strike 2. In the bottom of the inning, it is Hash, Alexander, and Bortnick for release. If this ends the inning, this could be the final pitch of the day for Joseph Conrad. 1-2 the count. Good lead over at first base. The pitch. Popped foul and out of play behind us. Once again, stick with us after this game for game number 2 of the day. It is the H24 Longhorns taking on Release Baseball. I believe that is the battle of the 2 and 3 seeds in the semifinals. And just like this game, Release will be the home team as the 2, the Longhorns, the visitors, as the 3. We will see how that one goes in a few moments. 1-2 count. Conrad tries again. And once again, a weak chop foul. Count remains 1-2. Even if this is the end of the line for Fielder's Choice, they have shown great resilience in this game. They have battled, and keep in mind, they did lead this game early on, and that was not really what we had expected from this group. It's a good group of players, but right now, Release, just keeping them at bay. For the third time, the 1-2. This time it will miss out of the zone, and that will even up the count. Pitch count, another thing to keep a close eye on when looking at Conrad's outing. Definitely getting up there. Don't know how much he has left to throw. His 2-2 in there for strike 3, looking on pitch 84, and the side is retired. Third strikeout of the inning, 8th of the game. Joseph Conrad has been locked down on the mound. Once again, when push comes to shove, when Release needs a big out, enter Joe Conrad. Middle of 6, Release still on top. 3-1 your score on SmeeSports. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit. You're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. One final chance for Release's offense to put the finishing touches on this game. 3-1 your score as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning. Game 1 of 5 today on the channel. Yet another gut punch kind of day here at Schoonover Stadium. 4 games in the 18U division, 1 in the 14U division. That 14U game up next as Release Baseball takes on the H24 Longhorns. And the positive for me, look on your scoreboard. Release, they're the higher seed in this game. Same with the next. I get to keep that part of the scoreboard intact for game number 2. Very happy about that. The 1-0 in there now, 1-1. Then later on today, we have T3 taking on the CBF at 1. 3:15, the winners of the 2 18U games before it today play. Then the championship game overall at 5:30 for the 18U division. The 1-1 down low for ball 2. And as well, we do have a total of 2 quarterfinals and 1 semifinal at Thurman Munson. B2 Caprasi still battling with the RBI Guardians. RBI up 5-1 at the last moment that we checked. We'll check again before this broadcast is done. Up next at Munson, it is going to be Ohio Elite Rundgren taking on Supreme Baseball in the battle of the 7 seed versus the 2. Do not count OEB out of that game as their talent is tremendous. They have a lot going their way. 3-1 can miss off the plate for ball 4, and that will put the leadoff man on. And we do have a final score from over in Canton. It was a run rule. 9-1 RBI Guardians take down B2 Caprasi. They await the winner of Supreme and OEB. Based on how that game started, Caprasi got the opening run and then 9 unanswered. Fly ball deep to center field. Good pop by Christoph Alexander, but not enough to get it past Dennison. 1 down. I know how good that RBI Guardians team is, and a big part of that is Corey Douglas, their head coach, but I did not expect them to run rule Caprasi in this game. I did not. Maybe 1 or 2 anticipated run rules in the 18U division, but I don't know if that was one of them. Not surprised just given how good that offense is. They have so many top guys on rotation. If they make it to the championship game, it just depends on if they have enough pitching to continue or not. And I think that's going to be the thing. If they do get knocked out, that does take them out of contention. And if it's not them, the winner of OEB and Supreme. If Supreme gets to this championship game and they have pitching, look out. But with 1 down, Braden Bortnick now in. First pitch almost gets him. Throwback to 1, not going to be in time. But going back to Bortnick, just like Trebenter, committed to play at Tri-C. We've talked about the Triceratops a lot in this game. Going to be a fun group to watch. And as well, you can go back and check out a lot of their home games on the SmeeSports YouTube channel under the live tab after this. Swing and a miss now, 1-1. It is 10-10 right now. If this inning does go another 20 minutes, the game does end. But I don't think we're going to get that far into the 6th. The 1-1. Chopped foul now, 1-2. And assuming we're done at around 10:20, so in 10 minutes, the next game would be scheduled to start on time, which is not only a miracle, but maybe a first here at Kent State. As there is just a history of games getting delayed for long periods of time due to game number 1 or the weather. Runner goes, the pitch. Inside, the throw down to second is not going to be in time. An excellent stolen bag by the leadoff hitter in Hash. The leadoff man's goal always to get on. And if he can take an extra bag on top of it, that makes it a lot better. Getting 1 final run for good measure would be a big deal for this squad, as that would give them a 3-run cushion. Count 2-2 on Bortnick. He has walked and has flown out to center field in this game so far. He will be followed up by Torres, then Paul Yuzek if it gets there. 2-2 count. Boubon looking for his first strikeout of the game. Not going to get it there as he bounces it in for ball 3. And as well, release the 14U squad making their way over to the edge of the dugout, just waiting outside the fence as they cheer on their older counterparts. Payoff, fouled behind, and we will do it again. Next weekend, no games at Tri-C. I believe our championship coverage will be in the 16U division over at John Carroll. That unconfirmed as of right now, but we will see as the week progresses where we will be located as we have the schedules officially posted. Payoff pitch again. It is down low for ball 4. Bortnick able to draw that walk, and that will bring up Gerardo Torres. Still one down in the inning. And still a chance to add on some more runs. They had that big chance in the 3rd inning to really end the game before we had a chance to see Fielder's Choice respond, but only the 3 runs. It was good baseball nonetheless, but they felt like they could have done more with that inning, and that has kind of been the story of the game as the offense fell kind of flat in the prior 2 innings. But now the offense coming alive again, but still not quite convincing. 1-0 swing and a miss, now 1-1. Overall, assuming that we will see release in the semifinals, big takeaway, if the offense can have more than 1 big inning, they have a good shot to win that game. And 2, if they can have a guy pitch kind of like Joe Conrad or maybe even slightly worse, they have a good shot to win. If the pitching is not there, I don't know if they're going to have enough. But pitching can definitely keep them in that game. It also depends on who shows up. As well, you do have a great pitcher in Pat Radigan in left. Is he eligible for today? We don't have the official pitch count, so we are not sure. We could also see Harabedian show up later, Karhoff, any of those guys come in just to pitch. That one bounces in, now 3-1. The on-deck circle after Torres, it is Paul Yazek. You've already seen 1-run rule in this quarterfinals. Now the time limit could be put into effect very soon. The 3-1 bounces in for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Releases offense coming back at the end of the game. And now time will be called. Rooney is going to go and try to settle down Boubon. But Colin Rooney has called a tremendous game behind the dish for Fielder's Choice. You see his experience, and you see him really putting a good name for Normandy baseball. Don't know what his recruitment's like right now, but whichever squad is able to pick him up in the next year or whenever he decides to commit, they're going to get one heck of a talent. It just depends on what his priority would be. And on top of that, that could be another guy that comes to Tri-C as Normandy right around there in Seven Hills. Technically Parma, but let's be real here. Normandy is Seven Hills, just to put that out in the air. Paul Yazek drives it into center field. That is down. 1 run will come in. They will hold up a second. It's an RBI single for Paul Yazek. Make it 4-1, and the bases remain loaded. Excellent swing by Paul Yazek. Just drops it in perfectly. And release. They learn from the first time. They hold up the runner at the right moment. We'll take a second look at this swing. Just perfectly popped right up the middle. Good piece of hitting. And now that will bring on Nick Hilton, the catcher, 0-for-2 with 2 groundouts. Just a wild turn in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hilton takes ball 1 upstairs. Good breaking ball by Boubon, but not enough. And so far in this game, I think the pitch that we've seen the most called by Rooney behind the dish is the breaking ball. Albeit he could have a lot of fastballs shaken off that we don't know about, but right now, it is breaking ball city. That one more of a heater. Pops up left side, still trailing into the outfield. And it will be finally caught for out number 2. Not the easiest play to make amid the sun, but excellent work by the infield to be able to track that one down, specifically Kavanaugh. And now that sets up Raiden White, the EH, 0-for-2 with 2 flyouts. The first one to left, the next one to center. If we do have a pattern, this one's going to right field. But obviously you cannot play the pattern game in a game like this. It's down the left field line. What a snag at third, and the inning's over. He got it. How did he do that? Once again, it's Kavanaugh putting on the moves, and that will keep all of the runners at bay. 1 run still does score, but that could have brought in 2 or 3 for release. Kavanaugh gives Fielder's Choice a chance entering the 7th. 4-1 your score through 6. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Final 3 chances for Fielder's Choice in the top of the 7th inning, but they have to be thanking their lucky stars for number 11, Jackson Kavanaugh. Without an excellent snag on a ball on the line, this game would surely be over, but because of it, only a 3-run deficit. They do have a chance to make the comeback and potentially get something done in the end. It is Gerardo Torres on to now close out the game for Release Baseball. We saw him pitch last time out against Ohio Elite, so we will see how he does in this game. But with everybody back pretty much, obviously still a couple guys missing, and that is kind of just the nature of the beast, but they have looked really good today. I'm really impressed with what I've seen from this Release squad. On paper, this is what you want to see from them day in and day out, and they're making a case to be one of the better Release squads. Obviously, with their age, they should be, but still, Release Edwards, they might be that top kahuna. 1-1 in there for strike 2. But for this inning, the Fielder's Choice have Smith, then Santangelo, and Fritzwater. Fouled away once again. Count remains 1-2. Once again, stick with us for game number 2 of the day in the coming moments as Release Baseball takes on the H24 Longhorns in a 14U semifinal. Torres is 1-2. Ground ball, hard hit right side hash. A good textbook scoop and throw to 1 is in time for out number 1. Once again, fundamental baseball will win you games. That is kind of the mantra of Release if they were to have one. They play by the rules. They play fundamentally sound. And that is your result. Now 2 outs away from a spot in the semifinals. A.J. Santangelo, the first baseman, now steps in So far in this game, he has reached on an error and on a walk. On top of that, he does have a pseudo stolen bag. I say pseudo because he overslid the bag at second and got caught out at third trying to steal again. But on paper, he stole second base. So that will be the decision, and that will be what the stat sheet says. And I kind of think it's just stolen base, 1 for 1. They're not going to dock him. It's just going to be he got picked off, essentially. I think it's kind of how the stat book will read because it wasn't a second steal attempt. It was the same attempt. It was successful at first. It's kind of like a single that then you're throwing out at second base. It's still a single, not an out, trying to go to second base. That pitch going to hit in the zone for strike 1. But Santangelo needs to get the offense going right here and now for fielder's choice. Down by 3, not much time left. Now 2-2 the count. Based on where this game is going to end, expect the next game to start at around 10:50 to 10:55, maybe 5-10 minutes behind, but really nothing crazy. Unless something crazy happens in this game, then obviously it's going to be pushed back more. The 2-2 popped into right field. Under it is Paul Uzak. He has it for out number 2, and Release Baseball can sound the final countdown. 1 out away from a spot in the semifinals. Release Baseball, seeing that their older counterparts are all but done with the game, they will go behind, grab their bags, and get ready to take the field. In the meantime, Tanner Fritzwater, the last line of offense for fielder's choice, steps in. He reached on a fielder's choice, and he has grounded out in this game. First pitch misses down low for ball 1. As well, stay tuned after the final pitch of this game once this one goes final, as we will announce our player of the game presented by the Health UCU Chiropractic Center following our final commercial break. 1 of the count on Fritzwater. Off the plate and behind for ball 2. Assuming the result holds, you can see Release Baseball again live at 3:15 p.m. as they take on the winner of the Cleveland Baseball Federation 17U squad and the T3 Warhawks 18U Hodeshell. And that game will take place at 1. 2-0 in there for strike 1. As well, if you're trying to stay up to date on the action for the other semifinals and quarterfinals, you can go on Game Changer, find Supreme Baseball and Ohio Elite. They are up next at Thurman Munson, potentially now given how early the first game ended today. Now a 2-2 count on Fritzwater. The RBI Guardians, 1 of 4 teams already to seal a spot. Release looking to join the Guardians in the Final 4. Not quite. They will have to wait one more pitch. 3-2 the count. But the Guardians will be in there. Release will be in there. Then 2 more teams will join them, and that will set up the field of 4. Big payoff pitch. Torres off the plate, and we will continue. Excellent take by Fritzwater. A risk, yes, but that is just his great plate vision on display. That's a big league take, especially with your tournament hopes on the line. Not an easy call at all. Now Michael Reed steps in. Keep in mind, the tying run would be in the on-deck circle. Go ahead would be in the hole. So Release, they can afford a mistake or 2, but not too many. Throw back to 1, and that is not going to do it. He just got in there. That would have been one heck of a way to end this game. But in the end, he is able to get back in. Reed will have a chance to step in and do some damage. But I think everybody's heart dropped for a moment. First pitch down low for ball 1. Now, if you are Release and this is going to be a walk, you have to call time and go talk to your pitcher here. This is going to be a tough finish, and you can kind of feel it here. 1-0. It's in there now, 1-1. If fielder's choice can hang in and be resilient and just play basic baseball, they still do have a good shot. That's the beauty of tournament ball. It's not officially over until the game officially ends. Line down the line, foul now, 1-2. Once again, fielder's choice down to their final strike of the tournament. But they could get a fresh set of lives with another base runner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, or they're going to say 1-2, excuse me. We could see a steal attempt here that could be on the cards just to try and pull off the defense. The 1-2 down low for ball 2. Good thing he did not take off. 3-2 is going to be in action. That is the basic understanding here. He could be off on the 2-2, but I think right now, if you're the runner, you stay put, you wait and see if you can get moved along naturally. The 2-2 sails upstairs for ball 3, and we are full. As mentioned, this is a traditional hit and run. The runner will be off on the pitch. He has a couple extra seconds to get around into the outfield. He'll be at third. And then that would set up the tying run, which right now would be Colin Rooney. Runner goes, payoff, hit down the right field line, has a chance to drop. It will, but foul. So we will see it again. But I give a lot of credit to this fielder's choice squad. Down by 3, they're not giving up, and you really are not surprised to see it. Knowing where these kids come from, knowing the talent on this roster, you expect nothing less. Rooney anxiously awaiting in the on-deck circle. Michael Reed trying to give his catcher a chance to tie up the game. The payoff pitch, it's off the plate for ball 4. And that will bring up the tying run in Colin Rooney. And I think kind of surprisingly, time has not been called for a mound visit. I would have almost guaranteed one here. Back-to-back walks, still 2 outs, tying run in the box, a guy who has a single already in this game, and a guy who knows how to place the baseball, and as well the catcher, so he knows the zone. This is maybe the worst guy to face in this spot. At least baseball IQ-wise. Shafts it down the line, foul, now 0-1. Once again, it was Jackson Kavanaugh, the 3-hitter and third baseman, who gave them a shot in this inning. As without his excellent snag down the line, this game would be at least 6-1, if not worse. Release still up by 3, but once again, a tying run in the box. Torres checks his 0-1 inside, evening up the count. If Rooney is able to get on, it would go to McHugh. Unless there would be a change in the order, which it appears that we do see Sean warming up. Torres is 1-1. In there for strike 2. And for the third time in this inning, fielder's choice down to their final strike. Can release. Third time's the charm. Get it done. The pitch. Did he go? Nope, the game continues. Rooney just able to pull that one back. And we will see a 2-2 pitch. Time now called, and this is when Release is going to go and talk to Torres. And you can see it's in a hurry. They want to settle him down. They want to get out of this game. They're going to keep him in. I don't think you really can give another arm to the cause at this point. I was kind of surprised that they didn't let Conrad finish, albeit with 84 pitches. If Slippery Rock said no, they can't throw him back out there. If he said no, they're not going to throw him back out there. But I would say if you would have given him 11 pitches, he could have gotten out of this inning. But that's the beauty of baseball. You'll never know. So many different moves can change the outcome of a game. But this pitching change could be one that has really deep implications. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Torres trying again to seal the win. He will miss up and out for ball 3. One more ball and the bases would be loaded, putting the tying run at first. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, and the game is over. Torres got it done in the end, and Release Baseball has made it to the semifinals. 4-1 the final score. How about that? Back against the wall, finally able to get it done in the end. When push came to shove, tying run in the box, Torres able to get the final blow. 4-1 your final. One final word from our sponsors. Then we will announce our player of the game, presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. 4-1 your final score in game number 1 of our 5-game slate today. Release Baseball moves on to the Final Four, taking down Fielder's Choice. Your player of the game, presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, belongs to no one other than the starting pitcher for Release. 84 total pitches, 8 strikeouts, 1 run allowed, and 1 successful pickoff. It's Joseph Conrad, the Slippery Rock commit. He was tremendous from start to finish. He was your traditional guy going 6 innings, getting you some good innings, and in the end, he was all that it took for Release Baseball to pretty much solidify the win, as without him, this game could have ended a lot differently. The offense, they had 1 big inning, able to put on 1 run in the 6th, and that solidified the win in the end, and we will see them later on today. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFist2024 on Twitter, as well. Go down below and subscribe. It costs nothing and greatly helps out our efforts here at SmeeSports, as we do a lot of broadcasts, but it's not an easy thing to do those broadcasts, especially with monetary restrictions. So any sponsorship and as well any donation on the SmeeSports.com website is appreciated. But that will do it for game number 1. Release Baseball able to get the win over Fielder's Choice. Time to head on over to game link number 2 as we again in a few moments. This has been the 2025 Laurie Mendenhall Memorial Showcase on the SmeeSports YouTube channel in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge.